to November 2022. Welcome to the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, DA. In today's episode on the NomadCast, we're talking about trending stories, trending topics, where I pick 4 topics that's going on in the world and kind of elaborate on them and provide my own personal spin and or opinion, if you will. All right, so let's get started here. University of Michigan versus Michigan State University. Now, if you're not familiar with this story, Michigan played Michigan State this past Saturday, and we beat them 29-7. I can't stand freaking Michigan State. Grew up in Detroit, always been a lifelong Michigan fan. Neither here or there. It's not going to sway my opinion. Now, there was a fight in the tunnel between some Michigan players, 2, and a bunch of Michigan State guys. Now, I will tell you, these rivalries are heated. These folks hate each other. Like I said, I grew up in Detroit. I understand this rivalry. I grew up in this rivalry. One of my best friends went to Michigan State and graduated. Some of my classmates and went to high school went to Michigan State and graduated. Doesn't sway the relationship. But what I'm saying is this. When you have these heated rivalries, people hate each other. Families hate each other. Now, it should just be left on the field, or if you're going to trash talk, leave it on the field or in the stands. Now, when it comes to physical violence, where the Michigan State players were jumping Michigan players, 2 Michigan players, talking about 10-on-2, in some instances 8-on-2, swinging helmets and doing all those things, that's not right. That's like lack of respect. That is total disrespect for the universities, disrespect for yourselves, the institution, the coaches, and everything. I think one thing that contributed to that, not only Michigan, we're a better team than Michigan State. I think with this whole transfer portal, with the way these guys are just moving, and I go to X university, I don't want to go to here no more, I want to go there, and people are trying to populate their rosters, trying to have the best rosters to compete nationally in college football. I think what happens is you take a bunch of young men, 18, 19, 20 years old, they have no knowledge of the university. They go through the transfer portal, come to these universities, and they don't care about these rivalries. It's all about, in some instances, it's all about gangs and who do you represent. And he was talking junk. Instead of saying, hey, you kicked our butt on the field, we lost 29-7, and keep it moving. But to take it to, the tunnel, which Michigan University, the stadium only has 1 tunnel. They've been going through this tunnel for 100 years. And all of a sudden now there was a physical altercation. There's always been issues, but I think now it's just magnified with social media, right? But getting to the point, I think what happens now with the advent of social media, and these guys are young, a lot of them immature. Who do you blame for this? Do you blame the Michigan players in the tunnel? Could have been a lot of chirping. Do you blame the Michigan State players for jumping and trying to hit this guy with helmets and doing all those things? Yes, I blame the Michigan State guys. But I blame the leadership. I blame the head coach of Michigan State. I blame the athletic director, the president. Everything comes from the top. Bottom-up feedback, everything comes from the top. So if your head coach is preaching a lot of the silliness and just letting you just do what you want, hey, you have no discipline, you have no character, and this is what happens. So supposedly, they're going to put in for charges against some of these Michigan State guys, which they should. You shouldn't be swinging your helmet trying to commit bodily harm to an opponent. It's football. It's college football. I get it. You hate each other. I grew up in this rivalry. I understand it. But not to the point where I want to harm somebody, because now I hit somebody with a helmet. Now there's a concussion, potential bodily harm, injuries, all these things. And now the lawyers are getting involved. It could be a sad situation for Michigan State University. Police yourselves, police the university, police the leadership. That is a leadership failure. All right, second topic I want to talk about is rappers being killed. Now, it's something I don't want to stay on because it's a very sensitive subject, considering there's a lot of people in the world that are just dying by the wayside, right? Condolences to all the families. This rapper Takeoff, who was a former member of the Migos, who was unalived yesterday at a dice game 2:30 in the morning in Houston, Texas. I don't know the circumstances around this thing. I'm not going to speculate. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm saying is something that's bigger than this. When you put yourselves in these positions, young men, well, he was 28, but young men, athletes, entertainers, rappers, whoever, singers, whoever it is, you cannot put yourself in a situation where you can be compromised due to negligence, hatred, dislike, disrespect of other people. Because people is not happy that you're walking around with all these chains on, money in your pocket, and doing all these things. Everyone isn't a fan. Everyone isn't clapping for you. But I think bigger than that is, and I always talk about this, where are the leaders of these entourages? Where are the leaders of the security teams? Where's the OG, if you will, the big homie who's saying, hey, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why are we going to a dice game? Hey, let's just go hang out with some celebrities, people that have like-minded money, like-minded finances, like-minded goals, but we don't have to worry about getting shot and doing all these other crazy things, right? Let's be around those type of people. But a lot of times these guys, they make it, they leave the hood, scrapping and fighting to get out the hood, and then when they get a couple dollars in their pocket, they go back to the hood. I'm not saying this situation, I'm just saying, I think leadership is failing. I talked about the leadership issue with the Michigan State and Michigan University of Michigan leadership failures. This is a leadership failure here within groups. No one wants to be the no man. No one wants to say, hey, everything is yes, yeah, we should go here. No, if I'm a manager, if I'm a security guy, whoever it is, and I've been accountable for soldiers, right? I used to tell the soldiers, hey, nothing good happens after midnight. I do not want a phone call at 2 in the morning saying that you got a DUI or you got jumped or you got stabbed. I've had those phone calls, so I'm speaking from experience. But the biggest thing is it has to be leadership within those circles. It has to be. It has to be someone saying, hey, it's not smart for us to go here. We may want to pivot and go somewhere else. Or I don't really trust this guy that's kind of in our group now. All of a sudden, he's our friend. I think you just got to be smart about the situation. You have to surround yourself around people that will tell you, no, it's not smart for us to move like this. Let's think strategically. I know we're trying to, be in the hood and, I'm saying, I'm from this and that. I grew up in Detroit. I have no desire to live in Detroit, be in Detroit. It's a great city. I loved it. Don't want to be there, right? So what I'm saying is there has to be a time where you grow up, you mature, your maturation process, your thought process should be all about strategic thinking. If I got X amount of dollars in my pocket, X amount of dollars around my neck, around my wrist, on my body and anything, people are going to target you. You're a big name. You got all this on. And just because you have all the jewelry on doesn't mean anything. I guess what I'm saying is you can't put yourself in compromising situations. And more importantly, you got to have people that's within your circle, that's embedded in your circle, to not allow you to go. It's just basic mathematics, man. We got to be smarter. Condolences to anybody that's ever, been unalive through gunshot fire, senseless violence. But we got to be smarter. We got to do better. All right, the third topic I want to talk about is Elon Musk with Twitter. Everyone knows he's been approved. He's bought Twitter. I don't remember the dollar amount. But I want to read a couple things here. And I guess there's a lot of controversy going on with people that works for Twitter complaining about the work hours. So let me read you a couple quotes here that comes from the New York Times. This is regarding Elon Musk acquisition at Twitter. Twitter managers have told some staff workers to work 12-hour shifts 7 days a week. Here's another issue. Some managers have told the New York Times they slept at Twitter offices on Friday and Saturday. The staffs are trying to prove themselves and the looming threat of layoffs under new owner Elon Musk. I would tell you, I don't know Elon Musk. I just know he's started the whole Tesla thing, and that's another bag of issues. So I'm not going there. Anytime we've all been in leadership positions, right? I'm a retired master sergeant, U.S. Army. I've been in leadership positions where our PCS transferred to another duty station or unit section or whatever. And we're always taught in the military, in the Army, right? You have to have an assessment, 30-day assessment, 60-day assessment, some cases 90-day assessments. As a leader, you can't just go into a situation and want to change this, change that. I don't like this. We used to do it this way in my old unit. Now, if there's a situation where you know, hey, we need to make some immediate changes like yesterday, then you need to lean forward and do that. I think the situation with Elon Musk, he is such a polarizing figure. He's high on the hierarchy of, rich people and all these things. He's a social figure. People knows him, right? And I think he kind of went in there and saying, I'm changing this, I'm changing that. I think when you go into these positions, I just gave you the assessment, 30, 60, 90, sometimes 120. You have to realize, what are you dealing with? Who is the strong worker? Who makes, brings value to the organization? Who can I count on in that time of urgency, in that time of need, in that time of strife? I think he just kind of just went in there, balls to the wall. I'm changing this, I'm changing that. And now people are going crazy. Twitter, he's going to let people just have free speech. And there's consequences with everyone want to utilize free speech. Yeah, speech is free. The consequences you got to pay for. You know what I mean? But I think what Elon Musk kind of just came in there and he did what a lot of immature leaders do. They just want to change everything. Let's figure out, let's do the assessment, right? What's working? What's not working? Let's implement some protection tools to ensure, okay, hey, 30 days, we're going to take a look at this. I know Hank is not pulling his weight. Let's watch out for Hank. 60 days, you got somebody else, 90 days, 120, whatever it is. He just came in there, like I said, balls to the wall, and he wants to change everything. He wants to change the world. He wants to send people to Mars. He wants to build all these electric cars that's having all these issues. But what do you expect? You got this guy that has no clue about running these type of organizations. Why not lean forward with someone that's been in the organization, have that battle handoff, as we used to call it. Hey, these are the issues that we have. These are 5 issues that we're having right now as a company. These are 5 things that we're working on to make the company better. Have those conversations. But supposedly he done fired the board. He done fired all these people. Hey, that's what happens, man. Everyone wants to be, popular and do all these things, but you're just making things worse than what it is. And I'm not an advocate for Twitter. I've tried Twitter like 3 or 4 times, and I realized it's a cesspool. I have no desire with it. But I just thought it was an interesting story to talk about here today on Trending Stories. The acquisition of Twitter, Elon Musk. Be careful what you ask for. Let's see. My last topic I want to talk about today is COVID-19. Now, COVID-19 is near and dear to my heart, to my wife's heart, and to my son's heart. Because God dog it a couple weeks ago. I haven't been doing any shows that you may have noticed. COVID-19. We went 2 years without, any vaccinations or anything. COVID-19 kicked our butt. Waking up, cold sweats, got to change the sheets 800 times. Hot flashes, throat hurt, no appetite, can't smell. Do all these things. Now, minus the inoculation, we've taken the elderberry, the castor oil, the vitamins, the drinking the water, all those things. And just because you have a COVID shot or 700 boosters, people are still getting COVID. 2 years, we went 2 years without having COVID. I done shed some fur, done lost some weight, feeling good, getting my taste back and all that. I tell you, it's a real freaking thing. No matter what you do, flu, cold, viruses, whatever it is, continue to take care of yourselves. Because I learned the hard way. I've had surgeries. I've had a lot of things going on in my life that's been negative. COVID-19 ranks up there. It ranks up there. And I'm thankful that we're in good enough shape where we didn't have respiratory issues and some of these other things that's happening. But I tell you, COVID-19 was a monster. And I don't never want to see that monster again. Never! All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the NomadCast episode today here on Doc Nomad Productions. The YouTube channel, I rebranded, renamed, did all those things. Thank you for tuning in. Everyone have a great Wednesday. I see you guys on the next one, on the next show. Godspeed. Continue to be blessed. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, maybe you want to consider liking, subscribing to the channel, and hanging out with me here on Doc Nomad Productions. Doc Nomad Productions. I'm providing you the NomadCast, where I talk about trending topics every Wednesday. Also providing you Nomad Kicks every Thursday. I talk about gym shoes and sneakers and provide stories and all those things. So come hang out with me. Every Wednesday and Thursday, you'll have 2 shows. And every day I have some YouTube shorts with just some random stuff going on. But it's a lot of things going on over here at Doc Nomad Productions. Again, see you on the next one. See you next time. All the best. Be safe. Doc Nomad Productions, where story time is a pastime. Now the editing.